It's time for the second day of our challenge, and today we have to watch the very awful movie called Please Be Somewhat Decent, because Morbius was not fun. Oh no. Titanic 2. Beautiful. Oh, Lord have mercy. So we finished watching Titanic 2 yesterday, and I have to say, it was abysmal. But who could have suspected that? It was easy when you saw the poster, it was easy when you saw the plot synopsis. It is just a terrible movie in itself. Personally, I think you could compare this one with Tomb Invader, like the Tomb Raider knockoff, or Fire NATO in terms of plot use and stuff. It's just one of those typical low budget movies. It had a budget of 500,000 US dollars, I thought. So of course you can't go into these movies expecting to be blown away unless it's made by some weird, very artsy guy from Poland. Then a budget of 500,000 US dollars will probably be one of the best movies you've ever seen from Film Bros. But good. Um, the story of this movie is about a girl. I forgot her name. Great preparation. She is a stewardess at the Titanic 2. It's basically just a replica of the Titanic called Titanic 2. The movie takes place 100 years after Titanic in real life, not the movie, but Titanic. And they thought, let's just do it again. So we have the boss of the boat operation, Hayden. He's played by the director of this film. I always think that's for sure in this type of scene, like a low budget rip-off movie. If you as a director give yourself the lead role, I think that is very narcissistic, but good. Who cares? Maybe you are the best Hayden in the world. But you have Hayden, he's the boss of the boat. You have the steward. She and Hayden had a little love thing going on back in the day. And then you also have the father of the stewardess, who hates Hayden because he was a prick or something. And he also does something in helicopters, and he has a scientific knowledge on icebergs or something like that. It's very weird. Anyways, but the movie starts off. The first 20 minutes starts off pretty damn normal. Just everyone boards on the ship. It does look like, for sure, the first 20 minutes are filmed on a cruise ship itself. So that's some definite yeah, how do you say it? That's some great. I forgot the word. I forgot the word. Dedication. That's some good dedication to your movie to film it on an actual cruise and not just make a weird room set or something where you could also film porn scenes. Anyways, going on. So everyone boards the ship, and the dad of the stewardess, he discovers that there is a tsunami that takes an iceberg with it. Ooh, and let's go further into the plot. Spoilers, if you don't want to get spoiled, click the video away, but I don't think anyone really wants to experience Titanic 2 for the first time, but I could be wrong. But what happens is the iceberg with the tsunami with the iceberg eventually hits the Titanic 2. Drama! So it goes wrong, it gets crashed, and the ship starts to sink. And that's where our movie really starts off, and that's where it becomes absolutely abysmal. Because the CGI is trash. Everything they show is like Spy Kids level. It's not the amazing bulk type of bad, because that whole movie is green screen, and that is an experience on itself. If I can recommend you one thing to do with your friends, is to go in a Discord call or just in real life. That might be even more fun, but I did it at 2 a.m. in a Discord call with three of my buddies. And we watched The Amazing Bulk. And it was one of the funniest experiences in my life. For sure, the last 10 to 15 minutes. That is just craziness. It doesn't make sense. And that is what it makes really good. but that CGI is even worse than Titanic 2 CGI, and that is very hard to do. But anyway, so you have some terrible CGI with the iceberg and the hitting of the boat and blah blah blah. But after that, the ship is starting to sink, and you have a second plot part where just everyone has to leave the boat. That goes fairly easy. I mean, you have some people dying with blood and stuff, but it goes fairly easy on itself. It's pretty decent. But after that, it just turns into James Cameron's Titanic, because you have Hayden and the stewardess and a friend of the stewardess who later on dies in the movie, but they now need to escape the sinking ship. But I haven't seen Titanic yet, but if I can recall it, there is a pretty long part of the movie where Jack and Rose need to escape this sinking ship from downstairs or something all the way up to the deck. And that's the same what happens here, but it gets dragged so long and so long. It's even longer and it's even more dragged than Low Taper Fade Meme. It's actually crazy how long it takes, and it just isn't suspenseful enough because it's just boring. It doesn't look good. The acting is so fucking trash. So you don't like to watch it because you have those, as I said in my review of 2 days ago from Morbius, you have bad movies that are bad because they're boring like Morbius, and you have fun bad movies that are bad but are so laughably bad that they become fun movies. And this starts off as a fun bad movie, but it just gets so boring and so repetitive and so boring. As I just said, it is one continuum of boringness, and it just doesn't continue the plot every time. They get stuck on the same fucking thing, and you just get sick of it. So I think even if you would watch this with your friends, you'd eventually get bored of Titanic 2, and that's also an achievement for sure with like a rip-off movie. Eventually the movie ends with Hayden dying. Like he dies because of water makes you drown. So he drowns. They give him some reanimation. Oh no, that's absolutely not the word. It's CPR. They give him CPR, reanimation. My God, I'm a fucking moron. See, these movies, they're doing something to my brain. Anyways, yeah, I'm looking like that caveman from Gumball. Okay, good. Let's just continue. So Hayden dies because he drowns, and the girl, the stewardess, and Hayden, they sort of fall back in love, and the movie ends with a little smoochers on a dead body's smoochers. I thought for a second that the CPR wouldn't have worked, but the magical kiss of the stewardess would have worked and would have get Hayden back to life. But I was wrong, which I'm very happy about because I wasn't interested in this being some magical Disney shit. That would have been so over the top that it absolutely sucks. But it just ends with Hayden dying, you get that kiss, nothing happens. Credits. Not even a post-credit scene, which I'm happy for as well because I didn't want Titanic 3, but it ends so bad as well because it just ends. There's no final scene of, well, this was myself an experience, man. Ho 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 ho. That doesn't happen as well. It's just boring. It happens, you think, oh shit, he's dead, and it's done. Like, how narcissistic is the director that he was like, okay, now I'm going to die, but I don't want anyone else to have like a last moment because I'm dead, so I don't have anything to do anymore in this film, so the film is done. That's the thing I got from it, because, yeah, he also, like, for the first 30-40 minutes of the movie, he just walks with the same 5 chicks around him, looking like all bad boy, all macho, but it just doesn't work. It's trash. Anyway, I would give Titanic a 1.2 out of 10 because it was horrible, it was boring, the CGI looked trash, the story was just like Fire NATO, where it had like 3 plots in one thing. But in Fire NATO, that was even more over the top. That was horrendous, Fire NATO. Anyway, so a 1.2 out of 10, a very, very, very bad movie. I wouldn't recommend it, not even with your friends, but that's about it. Ciao, ciao.